Keeper, and welcome back to On Air. Glad you could join me. Let me ask you a quick question. Company owners, do you have all the digital tools that you need to give your distributors the edge that they need to build a successful business? I mean, do you have the social media tools? Do you have the email tools? Do you have the newsletter tools? If you don't, you're going to love our guest. Distributors, let me ask you, does your company have the social media tools, the email tools, the newsletter tools to help you build your business? Great. If they don't, you're going to love today's guest. Today we have the Worldwide Director of Direct Selling for IMN, one of the leading digital communications companies in all of direct selling, here to talk about how their toolbox can give you and your distributors the edge that you need to build their business. IMN, which stands for I Make News. In other words, you make news. How to use their tools to build your business and take your business to the next level. Today, Michelle Larter, Worldwide Director for Direct Selling from IMN, here today on Air. Welcome back to On Air. Today we have the Worldwide Director for IMN, which stands for I Make News, Michelle Larter. Michelle, how are you?
I'm fabulous, Keeper. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Oh, no, thank you. It has been quite a process, you know. We've been trying to get this done for, what, almost a year now?
Oh, my gosh, it's been that long? Sorry about that.
No. You know, it's just been, as they say, circumstances have been a bit beyond our control, and you know what? We roll with it. The bottom line is, here we go. Let me say this: your assistant, the person who's been helping you and helping me get this done, bring us together, Danielle, has been fantastic. She's a bulldog in the sense that, not in a bad way, but that once she latches onto something, she makes sure that it gets done, and I just wanted to let you know she has been absolutely marvelous. It's been great working with her, so thank you.
Thank you. I'll pass that on to her and to our team as well and let everybody know about that. Appreciate it. She's been wonderful to work with on my end as well.
And let's see, you and I met each other about 4 or 5 years ago at a DSWA event, I think. And
yeah, at DSWA, I think it's at least 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah, that may have been out near Disneyland or something like that in Anaheim, I think. Yeah, and we've talked about trying to get together and talk about some things because I've always admired what IMN has produced. You guys are probably in the top 3 of all of digital communications for companies and distributors in all of direct selling. You guys have really evolved. And I'm going to ask you to talk a bit about that before we get into a couple of really major subjects. First of all, once you bring us up to date on what IMN is all about, and you as the Worldwide Director for Direct Selling, I want you to kind of tell us what that is all about. The unemployment issue here in the United States is a very big topic, particularly in light of this political season. There are some things that you and I pretty much can agree upon, that direct selling can have an impact in that area. So I'm going to ask you to talk about that. And then you have a program over at IMN called Loyalty Drive program. Loyalty Driver. I'm sorry, for both party plans and network marketing. And in the second segment, we're going to get deep into that because it's a great program for expanding one's communications capabilities. So Let's talk a bit about IMN. Kind of give us the overview of what you guys are all about and what you do.
Okay, IMN is a digital communications, digital marketing platform. We as a company service all different industries, direct selling being key among them. We also support the automotive industry for car dealerships. How often do you want to hear from your car dealer after you buy a car? Pretty much you're good for a while, right?
Correct.
We have a less than 1% opt-out rate across the board in all of our platforms. So we have a whole team that actually can source content and write the articles for the newsletters. With direct selling, it's a supplemental article segment. We usually also bring in Party Plan, we'll bring in the host specials and guest specials. In network marketing and direct and Party Plan, we'll do the business opportunity articles. And then supplement with lifestyle content, some fun articles, or some maybe in a fashion article for a clothing or jewelry company, perhaps recipes for the cooking industry. Or it doesn't have to even tie. We have a jewelry company who actually includes a recipe in their newsletter, and it's one of the biggest opens. So it's engaging content to drive customers back, even though I'm not ready to book a party or start my business or even buy product this month. I'm still engaged to want to come back, and then whilst there, something might catch my eye and get them engaged for further communication.
Right. Now, you said automotive to direct selling. So IMN can pretty much help anyone with their digital communications needs. And we're talking about social media. We're even talking about something that most people don't view as being extremely valuable anymore. However, I happen to disagree, and that would be the newsletter. When you just mentioned putting a recipe in front of your major communications piece, I think it's absolutely brilliant, because what it is, it's not so much hooking someone in, but it's letting people know that we go well beyond just what your business needs are. And by the way, here's something really, really nice. So from the jewelry company that does that, I think that's absolutely a great, great thing to do. You are the worldwide director for direct selling for IMN. What does worldwide director for direct selling mean?
It means I travel a lot, which is why it's taken us a year to get this down. But that's a good thing. We've been very blessed. We've had outreach from Canada, from Australia, from the UK. We have another customer in 9 different countries. So it's a global solution. It can reach the market anywhere, anytime. We have a great team of account managers that support our customers across the world. So it's a platform that is not just a U.S.-based program. It really does encompass reaching direct sellers around the globe.
You know, when I say that it encompasses reaching direct sellers around the globe, let me ask you, what are some of the companies that you all work with? Or who are some of the companies, I should say?
Yeah, some of the companies. We have a company called Norwex. They have an amazing green-friendly products, organic products, all natural. They have a microfiber cloth that's just amazing. They're in Australia, in Canada, and in the U.S. with us. We have a company called Steeped Tea in Canada. Jockey Person to Person is both in U.S. and Canada with IMN. As is, let me see, who else do we have globally? A company called Lorraine Leah Linen in Australia. We have the Chef's Toolbox in Australia, Your Inspiration at Home. Those are just the ones that come off the top of my head.
Okay, so let's talk about something that is really, really important here. And this is, from a direct selling standpoint, the economy is really, really important. There are a number of people out of work. And from your perspective, how do you see direct selling being able to be a participant in solving that issue?
Well, I actually am a perfect example. I got into direct selling by accident after being laid off from corporate America myself. I don't know if you knew that, but no, I had taken a year off and was actually not looking to get into direct selling. I was introduced by a friend, went to a party, fell in love with the product, decided I'd book a party to get some product for free since I was unemployed. Decided I fell in love with the product even more after my party. I had half of the bookings I needed to get the kit for free, and I gave the consultant, she asked me 5 times before I finally said yes. And I got the additional bookings the next day and started and never looked back. I planned on, though, just doing the 6 parties needed to get that kit for free and then being done with it. and then had so much fun and just got into it. And before I knew it, I was a leader. I was an accidental leader. And then just after that, they rolled out the IMN newsletter. We were one of the first companies out there to try it. So I was one of the early adopters and guinea pigs to pilot the program. And before I knew it, I had 21 parties up on my calendar, and I never looked back.
Wow.
And I earned, before I sold direct selling, I used to sell multi-million-dollar software solutions for a very large ERP software, enterprise resource planning, human resource, and payroll. And it was millions of dollars the companies had to spend. And I would earn incentive trips there. The ones I earned in direct selling were equal, if not better. And I didn't have to work as hard. I worked part-time. One of the trips I was earned, we had the option of a 5-day trip or a 7-day trip to Hawaii. Well, I worked a little bit harder and sold a little bit more and earned a 7-day all-expense-paid trip for my boyfriend at the time and myself. And it turns out I came back with a fiancé. Wow. So I love direct selling. It has some near and dear history with me as well.
Good. But back to the economy. How does direct selling, get involved in helping to solve this issue, or in some instances, this crisis, depending on what part of the country you're in? We're seeing a lot of people out of work, and the unemployment numbers have been stagnant for some time. They kind of fluctuate by a percentage point here or there. And how does direct selling, in your opinion, help fix that problem?
Well, direct selling has a network of millions of people around the globe. I think the Direct Selling Association says about 16 million as of the last census or whatever that they took. Direct selling is an empowerment industry. People that are unemployed right now for the first time in their lives, or even college students just finishing up trying to find a new job, direct selling gives them an opportunity. Unlike franchise, which is similar in some respects, very expensive to get started, huge investment. In direct selling, you can be an entrepreneur and start your own business with little or no investment. There's amazing training in direct selling. There's so much inspiration and support, and again, for little or no cost, you can start your own business. It's not for everyone, so I don't know that it's going to solve the unemployment crisis, but it's going to have a huge potential impact on it.
You know where I see it, because direct selling is really not about creating jobs as much as it is creating entrepreneurs. But if we can create entrepreneurs, we in essence can take them out of the unemployment ranks. So it's not about the jobs in the typical sense that most of us look at it, where I need to go out and get a job and then that can reduce unemployment numbers. No, it's about creating entrepreneurs. It's about creating income so that you can continue to live a lifestyle, and hopefully a lifestyle that you really dream of later on, but you're no longer part of the unemployment numbers because you're now an entrepreneur, and maybe you become so successful you actually hire people to work for you.
Exactly. And you said getting them to the lifestyle that they were at before, in many cases getting them beyond a lifestyle that they never imagined to be even able to have. Right. I've been, from the Direct Selling Women's Alliance, where we met, I've been blessed to meet so many amazing entrepreneurs and hear their stories of where they came from. One woman shared her story where her husband had lost his job, and she went to a party, and it was a food product, and she said, if we can get $100, I can get this kit, and I can at least get enough money to get us by to pay our basic bills. And if not, then it's food, and we can eat it anyway. So turns out she's now making a substantial multi-six-figure income. Her husband was able to retire, and now they're doing wonderful things that they never thought possible in their prior life. So it changes lives.
It absolutely does. I've been involved in direct selling for going on, I was thinking about it the other day, 17 years. Wow. And I've been involved in so many different areas. We're getting ready to go into our next segment, but one of the things that I just wanted to make sure that people understood, on that 16 million people in direct selling, that's here in the United States. The DSA, 16 million here in the United States, 12 million women approximately. The most recent numbers for the DSA is 91+ million in the world, with 72 million of those being women. That's our most recent numbers for 2011. When we come back, we're really going to get into the digital communications tools that IMN offers, because even if you are an experienced direct seller or brand new direct seller, you're going to need to be able to have some sort of communication outreach program that helps you. And this is where I am in, which is I Make News. This is where their specialty lies, what they're all about when we come back. Welcome back to On Air. Just having a chuckle because I just screwed up the intro to this. But welcome back to On Air with Worldwide Director of Direct Selling for IMN, which stands for I Make News, Michelle Larter. And we are going to be talking about more about what IMN is all about. As I said in the opening, they are considered one of the top digital communications companies in all of direct selling. Michelle, how long has IMN been around?
The company's been around since 1999, so about a little over 13 years now.
Okay. Has the focus always been with direct selling, or from the very beginning, has there always been some sort of focus, I guess is a better way of putting it, because you also deal with motorsports, and rather not motorsports, but auto dealerships and other things. Has there always been a connection with direct selling from the very beginning?
The direct selling connection has been for about 9 years now. So I've been on board with IMN for 6 years, and that's when we officially launched the program. In the first 3 years, as I mentioned earlier in the previous segment, I was one of the guinea pigs in the field that actually piloted and tested this program. So it was about 3 years of testing and research and development that we fine-tuned and worked out all the kinks, if you will, from the program. And we launched it a little over 6 years ago, and that's when I came on board with IMN.
So you got involved around 6 years ago. When you first got involved, they did not have the Loyalty Driver name of the program. They had the Party Pulse program, correct?
Correct.
Tell us what the Loyalty Driver is, which is the new name for Party Pulse, because from what I understand, it's a email marketing or digital marketing program that helps direct sellers get the word out to their prospects, to their downline, just really helps with their communications toolbox.
It does. It's Loyalty Driver. We have two products. One is Loyalty Driver for Party Plan, and one is Loyalty Driver for network marketing. Those are the two direct selling specific industry products. We as a company, as I mentioned, have other industries like franchise, healthcare, automotive that we support as well, but direct selling is key among them. And we were, I believe, the second true industry, or maybe the third industry that IMN came up with as a focused target industry. It's allowing a consultant or a distributor to be empowered. It enables them to have an automated communication that's corporate branded. Many, I know we talked about in the previous segment, unemployment and fixing that problem. Well, a lot of those folks that are coming out of that, as well as folks that are getting back into the workforce because perhaps their spouse has lost their job. So the wives now or the significant other are now supplementing the income, are coming out of not working and don't know technology. So if my upline is creating a professional newsletter on their own and they come from a marketing background, I'm a stay-at-home mom, I don't have the technology expertise, and I could never do what you do.
Right.
Our program allows the home office that has the marketing team in place to produce a professional newsletter that is corporate branded, so the corporate has the home office has the branding and consistency, the professional look and feel they're looking for from their field and their distributors and consultants. It's automated, and again, we're busy.
Let me interrupt you here for a second. I just want to make sure that I'm clear. Your program, is this something that goes through corporate, or is this something that an individual distributor can get involved with on their own?
The benefit of it goes through home office. So the corporation produces the newsletter for them. However, we do have a portal where either mobile or on a computer that the distributor or consultant has the ability to personalize the newsletter and put their own personality in there, put their own personal picture, add their own message. I've got these dates still open on my calendar this month, or I'm having a customer appreciation event. Come join me at this date and time. So they can add their own flavor and their own personality to the newsletter, but the corporate images that oftentimes they can't use anyway without corporate approval are done for them. So the heavy lifting is done for them. It's professional. I just spoke at one of our customers' conventions, their national conference, and one of the consultants there said her dad got her newsletter and said, "Wow, you're really doing a lot of work in this business. That newsletter was so amazing," and really thought she was a professional now, not just the hobbyist that he thought she was. And it gave her a professional image. And the other piece is it's not just a newsletter. We have a social media, three different components of that, so driving viral expansion and outreach. And we also have analytics, not only at home office, so if a consultant is doing a newsletter on their own, that's great that they get the insight, but now home office can't help you and benefit from that knowledge as well to produce better programs and better promotions and specials based on the customer and prospect interests. Right. So they have the analytics. We're also pushing those analytics to the consultants because the fortune is in the follow-up. Now they know who's interested in the host promotions, who's interested in the business opportunity. We also provide them with scripts so they know not only what to say, but who to call all the time.
Fantastic, because when you talk about removing some of the heavy lifting obstacles, that is definitely one of them, because most people don't know what to say. They don't know what the follow-up answer or question should be to someone's question, so you provide scripts as well. You talked about social media. Let's just jump back to that for just a second, because you're not just about email communication, you're also about social media communication. How do you go about blending the two for an individual?
Great. So a couple different things. In the newsletter, we have the ability for follow us to drive leads back either to home office so they can continue the dialogue and conversation ongoing with their customers and prospects. There's also a follow me for companies that do allow consultants to have their own fan pages. We can have the consultants add those links in there to drive them back to their own, continue their own dialogue. And then we have a share technology, which I think, having come from the field, is phenomenal. I, as a consultant, might not have social media. Maybe I'm afraid to go there. There's, hundreds of millions of people on there, but not everybody. So, Keeper, imagine you're my consultant, and you're not on social media yet. But I'm your customer, and I get your newsletter. Well, I've got your handsome face, your contact information, links to your website. I get your newsletter, and I see the special you have. Oh, my gosh, and I have that, and every time I wear it or every time I use it, I get tons of compliments or something I'm really passionate about. I click on that little Facebook link that says share on your newsletter. Now, that attaches and appends your newsletter with your handsome face and all of your contact information.
You're saying all the right things.
But it appends yours to my Facebook and my newsfeed with my testimonial and my comments. Now, you're exposed to my 1,000-plus friends and family. Well, I live here in New England. My sister lives in California. Of course, she values her little sister's opinion. So she sees it. She clicks on it. Even though I clicked on the article about the product, she now sees the article about the opportunity, about everything else going on. She can see your handsome face, build that relationship with you. She clicks on it, calls you, and now you've got a new consultant across the country. So it's really opening up your network to expand and driving the leads back to the consultant and distributor. But home office also is empowered with the knowledge of what's driving the customer interest so they can produce more of that to help drive better engagement to the consultants.
That's very nice. You just said something that I thought was absolutely brilliant. It's opening up your network's network. That is very, very cool slogan. That is a keeper right there. Let's talk about the website. Because if someone wants to learn more about it, want to learn more about you, how to do business with you, particularly for those of us in direct selling, they go to the IMN website, and I believe it's imninc.com. So that's the website. In fact,
actually, no, it's just, yes, imninc.com.
Okay. All right. So the website is up right now. When people go there, because we're specifically talking about direct sellers, how do they get to the part about direct selling?
There's links on the website for direct selling, and from there they can navigate to what's appropriate for them, whether it's party plan or network marketing. There's links to learn more information about the product, and if they'd like to call me for more information as well, they can reach me either on email at mlarter, Larter, at imninc.com, or my direct phone number is 781-672-7237, and I'd be happy to answer any questions they have.
Do you have anything on Facebook? If someone wants to contact you there, can they follow you on Twitter or anything like that?
Yep, we have company websites from imninc.com as well as they can reach me personally. Michelle on Facebook, I'm Michelle Matthews Larter. It's my maiden name, Mathews. I'm on Twitter, Michelle_Larter. I'm on Skype. I'm all over the place. So Michelle Larter or Michelle Matthews Larter, you can find me.
Very good. Let me ask you something. I know you know some tricks and some tips on the best way to use the digital communication. Can you share some of those?
Gosh, where do I begin? Again, the fortune is in the follow-up. In your personal message of our newsletter, I encourage consultants to change it each month. We do have a little safety net that has a use this message until date. And I had them add that in when I came on board because in the old days I had put Merry Christmas wishes on my personal website and then got busy and forgot about it. And then a customer called me around May and said, "Why do you have Merry Christmas on your website?" Because I'm a knucklehead.
So this is interesting. So part of it is a reminder basically to take something that's no longer relevant and replace it with something else in terms of a message.
Exactly, keeping their personal message fresh. Yeah. So we have the best, as a consultant, we'll have the best of intentions to come in each month and update that. But life gets busy, things happen, and you forget, like I did with my website. Right. So this keeps them looking fresh. We have a spot where home office will put a default message. So in the event I either forget or don't have time to put my own message, there's a default message keeping me looking fresh each month to my customers and prospects. So I can put my own, use this message until a certain date. So if I'm offering a customer appreciation event or offering an extra incentive until a particular time, I can have that message only appear until that date. And if I forget to update it for the next month, the home office message will appear instead.
Is there another really great tip that you just really love to use, that you just think is outstanding, that you will care to share with us so it helps us?
What else? In our tool, we also give the ability to put notes on how you know a customer. That information will appear on the warm call report. So it now is not only a list of who to call, it's not only their phone numbers and how to get in touch with them, or their email address. There's also scripts to know what to say. So instead of saying, "Keeper, I saw what you clicked on," no, customers don't want to feel like Big Brother's watching, or right. Big Sister in my case. So scripts like, "Did you get my preferred customer newsletter?" They love to hear that. Customers feel special, even though everybody's getting it. Nobody needs to know that. But using word choices like "my preferred customer," making those follow-up calls is imperative to drive the success of the business. So it empowering the consultants to know what to say all the time.
What's the big difference between the network marketing loyalty driver program compared to the party plan loyalty driver program?
Just nuances. In party plan, it's truly cut and dry, black and white. You know who's a customer and who's a consultant. Where in network marketing, you may be a personal consumption customer. So I'm a distributor, but I'm never planning to recruit or sell. So you can tailor your message for the different type of recipients. I can put somebody in categorized as a prospect. Somebody else I would categorize as a member/customer, and I'd categorize somebody else as a distributor or somebody in my success line. And then when home office creates the message, they'll create message 1, A, B, and C options. And the content that displays is reflective of whatever you say that type of recipient is. So I'll have the same newsletter that goes out with dynamic content automatically inserting appropriate for the end recipient.
I'm noticing, as we're getting ready to wrap up here, but I really want to get your thoughts on this. I'm noticing after what was a lull for email and newsletters starting to make a comeback, because there was a lull once people started to rush into social media thinking that was going to be the magic bullet for recruiting and bringing in prospects and communicating. It seems to me that email and newsletters are making a comeback. To you, if you had to choose one of those to use, or which order would you use, would probably be a better way of putting it. Would you do an email newsletter and then do use social media, or would you use social media and then get into the email newsletter type of campaign?
Well, the nice thing about IMN is for the consultants, it's done for them, so they don't have to pick and choose. It's a consistent communication. I mentioned that convention I spoke at recently, and one of the consultants said she gets a newsletter from another company, and she gets not only the newsletter but email, and it's 3 or 4 times a week. Some of them she gets 3 or 4 times a month, and she said, even that, please don't ever do that. It's too much. Mm-hmm. So we've tied it with each industry, and it's enough communication to keep the network connected, but not so much to become an annoyance. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of articles on social media about selling and pushing, and it's turning people off. Right. So we have a consistent enough communication that you're reaching your customers and keeping you top of mind, but not so much that they're annoyed and sick of you. We're not a sales flyer. We are a communication tool, and it's getting the message and building the relationship with your customers for the long haul. So being top of mind when they're ready. I don't want to buy something from my consultants every single month, but when I'm ready, I know exactly how to get in touch with you.
You know, that is a beautiful way of putting it, and it's absolutely correct. You don't need to put something out every month. It could be every couple of months, but like you said, just be top of mind. Speaking of being top of mind and speaking about you speaking at a convention, next month, October, you are going to be speaking at the Direct Selling Symposium in Utah. What is this, October 19th through the 20th?
What can we look for?
Oh, happy birthday. What can people look forward to hearing when they go there? And tell us a bit about it, because I think people should go there to hear you speak.
Well, great. Well, thank you. It is Direct Selling Symposium. They can find it online, and it is in Utah, again, October 18th, 19th, and 20th. And we'll be talking about Direct Selling 101, Direct Selling Basics, communication tools and basics. There's not only myself, but lots of experts in direct selling industry that are going to be speaking there. So it's something for everyone. It's for brand new startup direct selling companies, as well as seasoned companies. There's going to be a lot of new things for seasoned companies to learn from it, as well as the startup companies that they can get started right out the door.
Well, I think this is great, because you are become one of the better known speakers. And this is a great opportunity for companies and even distributors who want to learn more about the IMN service. Right here on the website for Direct Selling Symposium, it actually says October 19th through the 20th, but you're saying it's actually the 18th through the 20th.
The 18th is an optional company tour, so if they want to sign up ahead of time, they can go and tour one of the direct selling companies there in Utah and do kind of a first inside look of what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, ask questions. So the conference itself is the 19th and 20th, but the day before is an optional, they can sign on for extra to go and do that company tour.
Will you be there all 3 days?
I'm planning to be there all 3 days, yes.
Great. Let's kind of wrap this up with, what is it that you'd like for everyone to know as we leave here? Is there anything else that you'd like to let us know about?
Direct selling is the most amazing industry. I, like I said, got into it by accident, and I cannot imagine my life now not supporting the direct selling profession. And that's it. It truly is a profession. It's not just an industry. It's a direct selling profession. And when the consultants see it as just that, a profession, the sky's the limit for what they can do with it.
Right. I agree. In the industry, we have a great profession for the individual direct seller. Michelle Larter, thank you very much for spending time with us. I'm going to make this request sometime right before the beginning of the year or after the beginning of the year. I would love to have you back on to talk more in depth about the Loyalty Driver Program as a great way to kick someone's business off for the beginning of the year. I would really love to have you back on to talk about that, so they can really hit the ground running come 2013.
Excellent. Thank you. I would be honored to be back and speaking with you again.
Thank you. Michelle Larter, everyone. Michelle, thanks once again. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No family can survive on 2 incomes anymore, let alone 1. If you are supplementing your family's income working from home, then tune into The Cash Flow Show, Direct Sales Radio. Host Deb Bixler brings you sales tips, lead generation systems, and best business practices that guarantee direct sales success. Whether you're looking for a little extra cash or a career change, The Cash Flow Show, Direct Sales Radio will give you proven systems that will work in your home business. The Cash Flow Show, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on World Talk Radio Variety.
After our great conversation with Michelle Larter, I'm sure you all have a lot to talk about. Let me just suggest something. If you aren't sure that you have everything that you need to contact Michelle. If you think you're sure, you need to contact Michelle. If you're a distributor and you're not sure if your company has what they need to contact Michelle. Michelle has been doing this for some time, and I've known her for about 4 or 5 years. She's absolutely wonderful to work with. They have a loyalty driver program that is absolutely brilliant. It's second to none. It can really help you build your business. And how they've been able to put together traditional communications, meaning email and newsletter, and bring the convergence of technology, social media, and Twitter to help you build and expand your business. Once again, it's second to none. Michelle, thank you very much for being on the show today. Everyone have a great weekend. If you don't have the tools that you need, IMN is the company you need to be talking with, and specifically contact Michelle Larter. Have a great weekend. See you next time here on OnAIR.